Hey, what's up, guys? I'm TPB Robinizer, and welcome to the PWC D-League playoffs. I did not upload this league, but I thought since I made it to playoffs, why not? So we made the playoffs, and week one we're against Smeargle, who we've played in another league before, and but this time we have a less than ideal matchup. I think to put it the least. So, my team. Alright, I'll go over the full team first. Mega Septile, Jirachi, Nihilego, Porygon 2, Primarina, Donphan, Mismagius, Tauros, Pangoro, Rotom Heat, MVP, and then one other Pokemon. Let's see, I got the team somewhere. Alright, well, if I think of that last Pokemon, I'll let you guys know. But, his team is Excadrill, Xurkitree, Alolan Muck, Gigalith, Swellow, Frogadier, Scolipede, Seismitoad, Hawlucha, Frostlass, and Mega Gardevoir. So, I picked up this team halfway through the season, my team, from someone else, so I didn't get to draft it, and it's a pretty offensive team, which I'm not used to. However, I am not opposed to it. I do like, I like trying to use offense. I actually really do. But then I still have a couple bulky mons like P2 and Donphan. So yeah, I do really like it. And but unfortunately, Smeargle has way better offense. Excadrill, 6-0 is my team, whether it's Mold Breaker or Sand. Xurkitree, well, speed boost is allowed, so if Scolipede gets a speed boost into it and then it goes for a Z Hypnosis, nothing on my team will outspeed it, and it OHKOs everything. So I only have a few pseudo checks to that. Alolan Muck walls like all my special attackers, and my physical attackers, Donphan and Pangoro, are not the best offensive mons, because Pangoro is just pretty low tier in my opinion in League. I think its speed just holds it back way too much. And then Donphan is just better bulky. However, it can do some work, so it can take on the Muck. Gigalith just gives Excadrill the sand option. It's great for getting up stealth rocks. And it's just super bulky. And then Swellow outspeeds my entire team besides Mega Septile, and like destroys everything besides like Nihilego, Jirachi, stuff like that. The bulky mons. Frogadier, it's protein, it's not coming. The 4 mons I think are not coming. I think there are 7 he could bring. I think Swellow, Frogadier, Seismitoad, and yeah, okay, 3. I think those 3 aren't coming. Yeah. And then next up we have the Scolipede for speed passing and offensive Z-mon, very strong. Seismitoad, it's the fat water ground thing. It stops my sweepers. I mean, granted, my sweepers are quite weird choices, but it stops it. It stops them. Hawlucha, after an Unburden boost and an SD, also destroys my team. Frostlass, I think it has a terrible matchup. However, I do think spikes are very, very good against my team because Donphan is my only spinner, and Frostlass is both a spin blocker, and it can use its ice attacks against Donphan and destroy them. And that Mega Gardevoir, if it gets a speed boost or 2, sets up Calm Mind, I lose. So, I think my matchup's just not that great. So, I spent a lot of time prepping with Justin mostly, and then a little bit with Noah and JT just on the side. They were in the call too. But we were prepping, and I had a team at first with like a rock polished Donphan as my sweeper, and then some just things to do, like just my goal was to win with that, and then have checks, like 4 of the other mons were just checks to his sweepers to make sure I could beat them. But we started memeing, and we saw, wait, we had P2 on the team, and I was like, okay, I'm bringing Recover and Return, and then I was like, okay, what else should I bring? And we were just messing around, and we were like, oh, why don't you just bring Trick Room and Curse? And we were going to do that. But then you can't run, download, and Curse, which is really sad, because this would have actually been a decent sweeper, believe it or not. And so this was going to be like my Mega Gardevoir check. You know, I'd get an attack boost, I could Trick Room up and just return things. But you can't do that. So then we had the idea of Trick Room in my mind. And I have 4 Trick Room setters. 4. None of them are good. Well, okay. None of them are great. However, I had 4 of them. So I was like, okay, do I have any? Do I have any good Trick Room abusers? And originally we had the Rock Polish Donphan, and I was like, okay, I'll just run that min speed and bring it offensive. And then we also had the Pangoro on my team, which could destroy everything with its dual stab, with not dual stab, with Drain Punch and then Gunk Shot. It did so much work. So we were like, we were like, okay, I have a terrible matchup. Let's go out with a bang. Let's bring Trick Room. So yeah, first up we got our Porygon 2, max defense. This thing is just sets up Trick Room. We have Foul Play because he has a lot of SD sweepers like Hawlucha, Scolipede, and Excadrill. If I can set up a Trick Room, I can just then Foul Play them and do tons of damage. And then I also have Toxic, so like mons like Gigalith, Mega Gardevoir, I can Toxic them, Seismitoad, and just wear them down. I have Analytic. Trace does nothing against his team at all. I guess, does Foul Play make contact? Maybe Poison Touch Foul Play, that'd be weird. And then Download, Foul Play is my only attack, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, we stuck with Analytic, because I do think Analytic will boost Foul Play. Yeah, so this thing's just here to be the Fizz Deathmon. And then, I'll go over my lead next. We have lead Miss Maggie's with eject button. So the plan here was he would lead Gigalith. I could either Will-O-Wisp it or Trick Room, and then he would hit me with an attack, and it would push me out into, like, if I chose to Will-O-Wisp, push me out into Jirachi, I can just Iron Head him. If I chose to Trick Room, I can go into Pangoro or Donphan and just start doing good damage. So this was my lead, and it can also do a decent amount of damage to stuff. If I choose to stand with it, it can do decent damage with Shadow Ball to things. Yeah, this thing is just eject button lead. Credit to Justin. He helped me with this set. He was like, "What if we brought eject button Miss Maggie's?" And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And yeah, it did stuff. And then you'll notice the last move is Toxic, so I have dual status. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp things like Muck, Gigalith. I'm gonna Toxic things like Seismitoad, Mega Gardevoir, and then yeah. Oh boy, this is a set. And then yeah, so this thing is just my lead setup Trick Room. And then I decided not to bring 4 Trick Room setters, but I am bringing 3, and the last one is Jirachi. Trick Room, U-Turn, Stealth Rock, Iron Head. This thing gets up rocks to break a potential Sash with Excadrill, or and just do good damage to the Scolipede, Frostlass, get good chip on the Mega Gardevoir and Hawlucha so I can Oko them. Yeah, so Stealth Rocks are actually somewhat important in this game. Somewhat. Depending on what he brings. And then I have Iron Head to flinch things under Trick Room. And yeah, so that is Jirachi. It's just the 3rd Trick Room setter. Yeah, you'll notice all 3 of my Trick Room setters lose to Alolan Muck. And my 4th potential Trick Room setter was Nihilego. That also loses to Alolan Muck, because it has 4 defense, and like, Alolan Muck tanks anything on the special side. So yeah, there's that. Alolan Muck is a problem. So, alright, now let's get into the abusers. First up, we got Pangoro with a wide lens, because we're not trying to miss a Gunk Shot. I saw I didn't need any boosting item at all. I just didn't need any, so I was like, okay, I'm going to try and remove hacks from this game on the Pangoro. So, I was like, okay, gunk shot is not going to miss. We're gonna do my best for that. So it's 88% accurate instead of 80. We're not gonna miss a gunk shot. We got Drain Punch and Earthquake as our other two moves. Earthquake, Drain Punch hits like everything, and then Earthquake will hit the circuitry and Alolan Muck for extra damage. So it's just nice to have, and then it'll also do good damage to the Scolipede because it hard walls the set. And and then we just got SD in case we can SD under Trick Room and then get 3 free kills. And then, this thing is just, it's stopped by the Mega Gardevoir, but that's really it. Pangoro's here. Pangoro is now. We got the Iron Fist boosted Drain Punch. It should do work. I really hope so. Excuse me. Then the other abuser, as I said before, is Donphan with Bright Powder Sand Veil. Okay. Again, I don't need a boosting item. He has sand. I want to win this game. I'm being a scumbag. That's the way to go. And then I just have max attack 4 attacks because I don't need a boosting item. Seed Bomb hits the Seismitoad for very good damage. Earthquake hits everything. Stone Edge hits the Scolipede. Play Rough hits the Hawlucha. This is perfect coverage, which is amazing. I don't need any boosting item to just kill things. Only these bulky mons are gonna live. Gigalith is I think the only mon that will convincingly live. Mega Gardevoir and Hawlucha will barely live. It's they'll die after rocks. So they're not actual checks. I didn't need a boosting item, so I decided to bring the Bright Powder Sand Veil. This could not work well for me at all because if he brings Mold Breaker Excadrill, which you very well could, this item's sort of useless. I would wish I had Earthblight. And Mold Breaker and Sand Brush both have great matchups. I have a Mismagius and Rotom Heat that he can just Earthquake. He can just spam Earthquake and do fine with Mold Breaker Excadrill. So there's it's just not gonna. I just hope it goes well with this. But if he brings Mold Breaker, it's not gonna go well. And then last move. I know this is a long team builder, but this is playoffs, so I actually want to win a lot. I want to win in my other games, but I really want to win here because I'm trying to make it to Maine. So next up, last mon. This is not an abuser. I had 2 mons in this slot. The first one, I decided to go with Mega Sceptile. The first one I originally had was an Agility Thunderous, but I think this is just better because it'll outspeed his entire team and it can do good damage to them. Things don't really set up on this mon other than Hawlucha. Hawlucha can just Sky Attack, get its own Burden Boost, and Sceptile dies. However, I decided to bring this because I can just spam Leaf Storm, and then Alolan Muck, which is his best switch-in, will get to it KO'd by Earthquake, and I can just Leech Seed other things. I don't need anything other than Leaf Storm, Earthquake, and then I have Dragon Pulse just to hit the Hawlucha. So this was my last mon, and I decided to bring this over the Thundurus, but I just wanted something that could break the muck. Well, not break it, because Pangoro and Donphan can do well against the muck, but I just wanted a mon that wasn't hardwalled by the muck as my last slot, because it has a great matchup. But we're gonna switch to the battle. I have a replay right here. Oh boy. But let's just get right into it. So, all right, you guys can't really see it that well. All right, there we go. So, all right, switching sides, turning off music. Okay, so we see here, he has the Mega Gardevoir, he has the Muck. He basically has everything except the Xurkitree. No Frostlass or no Spikes, but he brought 6 of the mons I would have thought, 6 of the 8, and I decide to go with my lead, go with Mismagius. He decides to lead Gardevoir, So I'm sort of screwed here. He just shadow balls and hits my eject button. I can bring in Jirachi though, and this is a great check as I set up the first Trick Room. And I sack off Miss Magius because I don't think it's worth doing anything else, and then just bring in Donphan and click Play Rough. So Hawlucha comes in, and you'll see it doesn't die. I do a ton of damage, and I decide to click Stone Edge here, and the Scolipede dies. It's gone. And then I still have one more turn to Trick Room. I do decide to EQ here. I thought he would stay in, but he does make the good play and go Hawlucha, but he set up the Sand, which means Hawlucha is going to die to the next turn of Sand. And yeah, I decided to go into P2 to take the Sky Attack. That was his best move to hit Donphan as he dies to Sand. So P2's in, the Muck comes in, and I decided to set up a Trick Room. And he gets the Poison, which doesn't matter much at all. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. And I go hard Donphan as he knocks off good play. He sees the Bright Powder. He sees the Bright Powder, but I click EQ because he has no resists and everything will die. Basically, the Gigalith is the mon that'll eat a hit. He goes for the Toxic on the Donphan, and he takes 84, which is his best EQ submission. He gets damage on me as I finish off the Gigalith. And now it's just Mega Gardevoir and Excadrill, and he doesn't have Sand, so I don't think Excadrill can pull it back. I decided to sack my Porygon 2 to the Mega Gardevoir and just bring in Jirachi as he Shadow Balls, and I Trick Room. I do misplay here. I should have U-turned into Donphan to sack it off, because he could have Hyper Voice to stall out the Trick Room turns, but I set up my rocks to break a potential Excadrill's Sash. As Jirachi goes down, Pangoro comes in, goes for the Gunk Shot. I didn't want to predict when I'm in such a good spot. I was going to click Gunk Shot twice. If he went hard Excadrill on the Gunk Shot, I was going to click it again. And then I just Drain Punch to finish the Excadrill. So, after lots of prep, we finally, we got the win. Yeah, we got the win. I'm glad. This was a very hard game to prep for. You'll notice it's a very, very, very unconventional team. But yeah, we won. We're going to advance in the playoffs. And yeah, I think next we're against ABP. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I said yeah like 20 times. I will see you guys in next, I don't know when. I'll see you guys sometime with playoff round 2 against ABP in the semifinals. But yeah, alright, peace.